Hello and welcome to Engine Adventures review of this 2022 Grand Cherokee Overland 4xe or plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. Right there. Trail rated. This thing, I love the way they set this up. It's set up the same way as the Wrangler 4xe, where you have engine, electric motor, transmission. So you can basically drive this in electric mode, shift it into 4-low, and it's get the gearing from 4-low for the electric motor and all the gears of the transmission for the electric motor. So when you're in electric mode, you have an 8-speed transmission and a 2-speed transfer case, just like you do with a regular gas engine. Very good setup, especially if you're going to do off-roading, and I like this setup a lot. Obviously, many hybrid electric vehicles have completely separate systems, maybe where there's a separate motor on the rear axle and separate electric motor for the rear axle and an electric motor up front and a CVT transmission that's not the standard belt type CVT, but a gear driven planetary gear system CVT. Anyway, lots of different setups for electric vehicles, but in my opinion, this one is one of the best because the electric motor gets all the advantages of having the 8-speed automatic and 2-speed transfer case. Anyway, let's start talking about the real things that matter. It's powered by a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. All right, there you go. This engine, 375 horsepower and 470 foot-pounds of torque when combined with the electric motor. Without the electric motor, I want to say you're 295 horsepower and, man, close to that on torque. 295 torque. 290 horsepower, 295 torque, something like that. Maybe I'll throw those numbers up on the screen. Anyway, this one does have the electric motor assist, which gives you a credible torque, 470 foot-pounds of torque, down low. It's a really good punchy vehicle. It jumps off the line, plenty of power there. And then, of course, the 375 combined horsepower. And it doesn't look too terrible. I mean, the engine's pushed clear back in there, but, and maybe getting to that, you can see the coil pack right there. Maybe getting that last spark plug will be a little bit of a pain, but it really honestly doesn't look too terrible to work on. And I think this vehicle might have been one that Jeep used for a press release drive event for journalists to use, because there's mud all over. They piled mud everything. I mean, I know this looks like just a little bit of mud, but anyway, whoever had this before has really put it through its paces, and it's come out mostly unscathed. It does, I don't know if you noticed in the first clip, you can turn on the fog lights without the headlights on. Now I have the engine off, but another telltale sign of the 4xe is, well, rather are the blue recovery hooks or tow hooks there. This one comes with 18-inch wheels because it does have the off-road package, which adds a few off-road goodies. It has the air suspension here, so right now it's in the second highest ride height. It can ride one higher, and I prefer to not go all the way up when I'm off-road unless it's rock crawling or something like that, slow speed stuff. For high-speed stuff, it's better to be a little bit off of the highest setting so that you can get more downward rear wheel travel there. One thing Jeep does terribly is not offer an opening glass on the hatch. And all right, there are so many things to go over in this vehicle. So this is the Overland model, and there's like a Summit and a Summit Reserve above this. it's incredibly well equipped for being the 3rd highest trim level. Over here, that's the massaging seat button. Let's see if I can get a better angle on that. And then your seat settings, just 2 of those. Down here, mirrors, windows, all that stuff, standard. It does have a 19-speaker Macintosh system. Drive mode, so hybrid, electric, e-save, which is battery only, and then that's to open your fuel fill, and then just the interior dimmers. E-brake is in the normal spot for an e-brake handle, but it is an electric e-brake. There are a ton of different menus up here to go through. Current MPG average is 21.4, but I've had it on e-save mode, so I had this down to like 30% almost, but driving an e-save, it's charged it back up to 60, which isn't bad at all. EPA estimates 22, I believe, combined city highway average, and for the electric, that's for gas only. For the electric and gas mode, it's like 56 or something like that. Anyway, lots of different settings here, and one that I do like is you have this button, and it pops up these 4 screens, and you can go through and change what's on the screens, or 5 screens, sorry, and yeah, just kind of adjust them to be whatever you want them to be. And that one is a useful screen, but for me, I have been leaving it on these. And in Stellantis fashion, you have this you can adjust, this whole side. Same thing over here, this one and this side. I believe the top and the middle, you can change those, turn them on and off, and then down here at the bottom. Anyway, you can adjust all the different areas, what information you want displayed there. Off-road, it does give you pitch and roll. And this one's cool. We'll show that in the off-road video more. Shows what wheels are powered and the articulation. So that one's down a little bit in a hole, the passenger side rear. And it will also show you what the center differential and rear differential are doing. So this has a electronically locking limited slip something style rear differential. So it occasionally will show that that's locking up. And then of course, when you're in 4 low, it locks the center differential. This one is full-time 4-wheel drive, so you don't have a 4 high button here, and just a 4 low, and then if you need to get into neutral, it's got that. And they are going to do a Trailhawk version, and this one is not it, but it does have the off-road group. And let's switch the headlights back to auto. 2 things I don't like about this so far, the only 2 things I've really found that I don't like, these buttons are a little bit hard to see. So from the driver's point of view, they kind of point up. So they're not quite as easy to see, but this one is the extra regeneration. So when you let off the brake, it starts regenerating immediately. Kind of a 1-foot driving thing unless you're coming to a complete stop. And I've liked it so far. It takes some getting used to, but once you do, it's pretty easy to manage. Right here is your lane keep, assist or warning, traction control, flashers, parking sensors, and this one we'll talk about in a minute, but it's for my second issue, which is this screen on the passenger side. The only reason I have an issue with it is I did get sun glare off of that more than once. It's a very reflective surface, and if the sun's in the right spot, it can be kind of blinding. Center stack here, this thing is gorgeous. I'm not sure, I don't know, this piano black is a very common thing now, but you can see how reflective it is, and then if it gets dirty at all, like a speck of dust shows up on there super easily. So anyway, other than that, I do like it a lot, and it looks really good. It's just, it gets so dusty so quickly. Plenty of stuff in here to go through. I'm not going to go through all of it, but there are a lot of settings. It does have the surround view camera, which is pretty clear. Rear view camera, of course, if you're hooking up, and then it's got 2 different views of that rear view, and then the front view here, and it shows you where the wheels are pointed. It also has a function where you can spray the camera to clean it off if it's getting dirty. Yeah, I think that's probably about all I wanted to do for there. I guess you can show them, I can show the massaging seats if it pulls that up. Massage, and there you go. You have all these different settings and forces, so low, medium, high, and then all the different modes there for the heated, massaging seats. I was looking down here. They are heated and cooled seats. So heated steering wheel. And that's both front seats are heated and ventilated, I should say. Down here, 4 USB outlets and auxiliary HDMI for the passenger screen. 12 volt here, wireless charging there. Cup holders, which again you can close and have be piano black, but in between, this is the drive mode. Selector, park, reverse, neutral, drive. Ride height, right now we're in off-road 1. There's an off-road 2. There's 1 height higher. I drove around mostly in normal mode. When you hit the freeway, it drops you down to aero mode. And then you have 5 different drive modes here. Auto, sport, snow, sand, and mud. And then when you're in 4-wheel drive low, you can get into rock mode. And to hit 4-wheel drive low, throw it in neutral, push that button, hold it down for a second, it'll shift there. And then this is the downhill assist. And you have to be in 4 low as well. Hill descent control, not downhill assist. But anyway, they're all kind of the same thing. This is split here. So you have a small little cubby, easy to access there. If you pull the other one, you have my lunch and another small cubby there. There's not really much inside. There's no power outlets or anything inside of there. Rear view mirror, it is the camera system as well. And then all this stuff for the sunshade, open the window, the rear hatch, lighting, all that stuff's up there. Sunglass holder, and it is fairly thick. It can fit my sunglasses, even though I've been putting them in the cup holder. And your home link system for opening your garage door. Yeah, pretty nice. Very, very nicely equipped. Right here is the passenger screen power button. And there's pretty bad glare, but this thing fades out pretty quickly. So the driver doesn't really have any chance at seeing what's going on over here. And you can obviously connect HDMI to it. You can pull up the navigation and search for things on here. Like, I don't know, nearest restaurant, gas station, whatever it may be. No reasons I accidentally hit that. Anyway, you can pull up the navigation on this screen and help the driver say, hey, find the nearest gas station, and then you can navigate to that if you want. So there are a lot of other features on here. Hook up your devices to it. I didn't realize you could actually view the camera system from it as well. Kind of cool. Anyway, kind of a cool thing. I know it's in the Wagoneer, Grand Wagoneer, but or optional on those. I just don't know how much use it would get. For some people, probably a lot of use. For others, probably wouldn't get used at all. All right, in the middle row, trying to shade that a little bit, but has its own climate control with heated outboard seats. Down here, 115 volt and 4 more USB ports. It does have window shades. Just started raining on me. And power windows automatic, and you can lock and unlock the doors. Part of the Macintosh system. It does have vents here as well, which I do prefer the vents up top, but those ones are not bad. And obviously the vents there in the center. Not a whole lot more back here. There's a lot of space. The seats do recline. You can pull that handle and recline them back a little bit. On this side, show you that. And then, of course, cup holder armrest. This one's not too bad. This part's a little bit hard, but it's not raised. On some vehicles, that's raised up and kind of digs into your arm, but that's not the case here. So a decent amount of space here in the back row, and it's quite comfortable back here. The seats, the leather back here seems to be like a little bit more industrial, I would say. I don't know. It's a little bit softer. Well, a little bit soft still, but very slick. And you can tell it's definitely durable. And then I love these floor mats. So these things are big, beefy floor mats. They have the ridge all the way around. It should trap everything down in there so you don't get your carpets dirty. And yeah, a couple vents here, lights up here, handles and hooks. Kind of just your basic normal rear seat with, you know, heated seats, a few additional features there. And before we move to the back, when you fold these seats down, you can see how tall that is. The batteries are, I believe, underneath here, underneath these seats. That may not be 100% true. That's a really thick seat if they're not. All right, this is underneath the back seat. You can see those high voltage, the orange wires are high voltage. It is a very thick seat. There's a lot of foam insulation and stuff here. And I thought there wouldn't be any way to access this, but sure enough, there are these clips here on the side. You pull the lever, that'll open that up. Anyway, the thick seats here, that is actual just the seats that thick. So anyway, let's move. Well, let's fold that back down. So that's really tall, but it makes for a flat load floor. And take a look here in the cargo area. You have the different height settings here. You can hold it down to set it to whatever height you want. 12-volt outlet, grocery bag. Well, that one actually, this, you turn it to the right, pop it out, and then when you pull hard on that, you can open your fuel door. Under here, spare tire, not the same as the tires that are on there. So 245/65 R18, but this is a Nixon Enprise, I don't know. Anyway, this is probably a good high mileage or fuel mileage tire, whereas the Goodyear Wrangler, what are these? Something all-terrain adventures, Goodyear Wrangler all-terrain adventure, and it still is the same size, 265/60 R18, 245/65. So it's a little bit narrower, but probably the same diameter. Here is your plug to plug in the vehicle, 4xe, and it's still in the bag and everything, but anyway, it's just a 110, 120 volt, whatever charger that comes with the vehicle. Jack and other tire changing tools. A couple little spots you can put things in there, but not a whole lot for that. Behind here, just a fuse box, high voltage. I don't know, that looks like a ground more than anything, but anyway, really large wire, ground wire. Not any additional storage or anything in there, just fuse box. If you do get the cargo cover, mounts there, hooks into these slots, and there are your generations of Grand Cherokee. Starting from the left, you got your ZJ, WJ, WK1, WK2. I don't even know if this new generation is a WK or something else. On this side, a Willys Jeep. A few little Easter eggs. I'm sure there are more. There actually are more. I know I've seen a couple around, but I don't remember even where they were. It does have a towing capacity of 6,000 pounds. I have not taken this cover off, and it actually looks fairly easy. Some of these are hard to do, but right here, just turn that a quarter turn, and it comes right off. 7-pin, 4-pin. There's no brake controller, so you'll have to add that aftermarket if you are towing. And then, of course, your standard 2-inch receiver. This is going to act as the Monroney. It's not the actual official one, but essentially what Jeep predicted it would be. So 2022 Grand Cherokee Overland 4xe with a 2-liter i4 turbo, and it's plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. 375 horsepower, 470 torque, 8-speed transmission, 18-inch polished painted aluminum wheels, and then the 265/60 R18 tires. I believe that's a 30-inch. I'll put that up on the screen. Anyway, we can skip through all this. The color's Baltic gray, and then the interior is global black. 25 miles all-electric range, 56 miles per gallon equivalent when you're on gas and electric, 23 combined. Base price, $65,760. That paint job is an extra $395. This has the luxury tech group. Napa seats, this mirror, 12-way power seats, wireless charging pad, the back massagers, all that kind of stuff. $2,155 upgrade. Then it has the Advanced Protect Group 2, which is the active driving assist, head-up display, intersection collision assist system, night vision with pedestrian and animal detection, surround view camera system, rear backup camera washer, integrated off-road camera, and map in cluster display. I wonder if that's, oh, up here, so you can put the maps up here. Block painted roofs, another $775. Off-road groups, $1,095. That, I believe, that off-road group adds in your rear differential locking system and a few other features, skid plates and stuff like that. Front passenger interactive display is $1,000. So for that screen there, it's $1,000. Comes with Uconnect 5 nav, 10.1 inch touchscreen, and then the 19 speaker Macintosh high performance audio is included with that package. Brings a total with destination of $1,795 to $75,305. And again, there are 2 trim levels above this one. The difference may be, I don't know this for sure, but it might be that a lot of these features come standard on the next trim up. Anyway, very nicely equipped. Crazy to me that there are 2 more above this. On the freeway, the Grand Cherokee automatically lowers itself here to aero mode. I had it normal ride height around town, and you don't really tell a difference in ride. It doesn't seem like it. I mean, it's very smooth. It's a very smooth vehicle and quite great on the freeway. And I've even used some of the driver assist aids, and they do pretty good in this thing. Better than most. Still, I have everything off right now, but it does have all these different screens. This is the driver assist stuff where you can hit, turn all that on, and then it'll show up on here. If I do the adaptive cruise control, there you go. So it'll show you the vehicle in front of you, how far you're away from them, all that kind of stuff. And I do like these green lines. It shows, oh yeah, you're doing good, you're within the lines or whatever, and they'll start to flash or whatever if you go outside of that. So I do like a lot of features on this as far as that driver assist stuff goes, but overall it's still the same type of driver assist thing, so you're going to have your issues with it. And this one, for the most part, has been one of the better ones for me. You can also see there, it's probably flashing, but there is a head-up display, and you can modify that to display different information, more or less, bigger, smaller, brighter, darker, whatever. It's pretty clear. I like it. And another one, oops, let me go through here. I believe it's there. There you go. The forward-facing infrared camera, and I know I've talked about these before, but they don't make a lot of sense to me. I haven't figured out where they're useful. So at high speeds in the dark, you're still going to be looking at your windshield. Like, you're not going to be looking down at that screen. And maybe you can look down and check the screen every once in a while, just like you check your mirrors or whatever. But if there's a deer that's coming out, or you know, whatever animal you're going to hit, you're not going to be looking at that screen down there to see it. And maybe it's better for around town, so you don't get a pedestrian, a child, or something running out in the street. But again, you're just not looking at that screen all the time. And despite how cool it is, it just, for me, the functionality of it, it's not something I'm going to be using, I don't think. And I haven't used it really, apart from messing around with it, just playing with it to see how it does. But again, a cool feature, but just not something that's really all that practical. And there are a ton of other things, like you have this screen, all of your temperatures, your oil pressure, battery voltage, all on one screen, easy to see. You can keep track of the condition of the vehicle, all from this screen. And like many other Stellantis vehicles, you can modify what's on in all these different areas. It's got, anyway, a bunch of different sections. The south here, the coolant temperature, fuel, battery percentage, and then the left and right sides there. So you can modify all of that stuff and put it to whatever you want it to be. And one other thing I do like, it shows what gear you're in, D8 right there. That's always showing. You can turn it off if you want through the settings. I prefer to see what gear I'm in all the time, and it does have paddle shifters here. So especially when towing, when you're just cruising around, I don't really care too much to see what gear I'm in, but when towing or off-roading or whatever, it's nice to know what gear you're in so you can downshift or upshift as you want to be able to engine brake or prepare for an upcoming hill, whatever it may be. It's nice having that gear shown on there so you know exactly what it's doing. Okay, hybrid mode, gas engine's not on right now. We're gonna do 0 to 60, 3, 2, 1, go. Certainly takes a second to go. Hybrid, the engine fired up. It pulls hard, but it just takes a second to get it started. 60. So yeah, I mean, it does pull hard. If I were in sport mode, I'm sure that launch would be a lot quicker off the line. But as is, it just takes a second for that hybrid mode to kick in to get it going again. Thank you for watching Engine Adventures review of this 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee Overland with the 4xe system. Excellent vehicle. I really quite enjoyed driving it. It's pretty smooth and quiet on the freeway. Lots of power, lots of torque off the line. If you're using all electric mode, I can drive to work, plug it in at work, drive it home, and stay in 100% electric mode. And even without, I'd be driving about 4 or 5 miles on the gas engine or hybrid mode in between if I only charged it at work or only charged it at home. So anyway, it's about the right range, maybe a little short for some people. It's pretty capable off-road. Be sure to check out the off-road video for that. I mean, it's really capable, still a Jeep as far as vehicles in this class. It's one of the most capable, even with the added weight of the plug-in hybrid system. It's very capable, smooth on-road, quiet on-road. Had a little bit more road noise than I expected from this high of a trim level, but it still did really great. If you liked what you saw, be sure to hit subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications, and give me a thumbs up. Also, comment down below. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of this Grand Cherokee? And thank you for watching. Have a great day.